What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming. 5 performance bonuses tonight. 3 on the live card. Pono Pao, Anthony Blackburn. 2 on the early prelims that some of you guys may have seen. Stun Marshall, Abby Montez. And then the Crypto.com performance bonus winner is Alan Klingbeil. He'll receive $10,000 in crypto provided by Crypto.com. First question.
Frank, talk to me about the success of tonight. How's it been for you, and how's it been the move to YouTube?
Yeah, our last event was the first event on YouTube. We're now trying, getting our feet underneath us with how the platform works and getting a lot of great support from YouTube. Tonight we had a Watch Wit stream with one of the YouTube influencers. We had 3 foreign language streams on our channel. UFC was streaming, so we also started streaming on Twitch tonight, and we'll be using multiple platforms going forward. But overall, huge success.
Awesome. I mean, we're seeing 2 Russians on the card here. Do you think we're going to get more international talent here in America?
100%. One Kazakh, one Russian, right? Yeah. No, listen, that's part of the plan. Obviously, we'll be going back to Abu Dhabi and Saudi again this year. And on those cards, we'll see more international fighters, and it will continue to grow, and we'll get more guys out here.
Yeah, we see you change your recruiting strategy a little bit. We see you got a bunch of wrestlers in. You have 2 different combines at the Performance Center. Is this the new way that you're going to recruit going forward?
Yeah, 100%. The training has been super beneficial to everyone involved. Training camps we've been holding over at the Apex, and yeah, listen, the wrestler recruiting was a huge success too. I mean, we had 11 undercard fights tonight. A lot of those guys came from those camps, and they did a phenomenal job.
In regards to Mark Smith, I've never seen him as hands-on as he is at some of these camps and being involved. What does that speak to your relationship with the commission?
Yeah, I mean, Nevada has supported us from day one with Slap, and they want the best fighters up there and the best fights, and their involvement is obviously critical to the success of Slap, and we're happy to have them.
Tonight we've seen disqualifications, we've seen athletes not able to continue. Is there anything that could be done to try to get some cleaner matches?
Yeah, listen, it's these guys just got to continue to train and get up there. Our last event was in March. This is June. As we get more regular and they have more matches, they'll get cleaner. I agree. Some of these were not as clean as we wanted them. We also had some phenomenal fights tonight. I mean, Klingbeil Simons was awesome. Manny did his thing against KO Chris. Blackburn's an absolute beast. That kid is really special. And, Zakir had that foul, but I think we all see his potential.
Mm-hmm. PowerSlap 14 in New Orleans. Why right now? Why New Orleans? Is it the right time to go out of?
That's going to be a huge week. There's obviously a huge UFC card there, but it's this thing is growing. Tonight was our highest ticket price ever. You couldn't get a ticket for this thing even on the secondary market today. It was impossible to buy. I saw some tickets going for $1,500, $2,000. It's time to travel the show and get in front of more people. It will grow the sport.
Amazing. Thank you.
Talk to us about that right here, Frank. Talk to us about that main event. Lots of controversy. Dumpling seemed pretty irate afterward. What did you make of that?
With those 2 guys, it's like they can't be moved. You hit them and they just eat everything. Again, definitely not the cleanest. Clearly, Dumpling had some shots that evidence on his face a little high, but this is how it goes. And I'm sure Dumpling will want to get back out there as soon as possible. But congrats to the Hitman.
Have you talked about ways to maybe rectify those fouls, like maybe involving instant replay more? Or?
We got more replays than you can imagine. I mean, I don't think it's a replay thing. I think it's just, the guys need to get crisper in how they're performing.
Talk to us about KO Chris. Missed weight, obviously, and then kind of looked like he might have given up, didn't want to be out there, as Dana says sometimes, and then it looked like Hunter had some words from. Do you know what they were talking about? Or?
No, I mean, KO Chris just came over and said he broke his hand, and this might be the end for him. But again, the emotions of being up there, and again, Manny did his thing. That's what Manny does, and however Chris felt that impacted him, I guess that was the outcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hey, brother. Dana's talked about it a lot about how this thing just continues to go viral. And I think the one video with Ronda Rousey right now is at like 32 million views already in 6 hours. Like how have you guys figured out a key to just keep making this thing?
Well, first of all, it was awesome to have her here. I think everybody was excited to see her when she was here for the early prelim. She was supporting PETA, who's her friend. It's just everything we do tends to go pretty viral pretty quickly. I mean, obviously we have a great social and content team that, pulling these things together quickly and doing it right. But that's what slap is.
And then just one about Michael. Obviously, she's been like a pretty heavy presence recently on social media. Like she's upped the social media that she's been doing, but it kind of seemed like she paid more attention to social media than she actually did the slap aspect of it.
You gotta figure out the right balance. I give her a lot of credit. She took an opportunity, coming from nothing to what she's doing now, and I actually think she's setting a really good example of how you take this platform and build yourself and put yourself out there. She's probably in her head a little bit tonight, but I know she'll be back. And then just your one other stat for you. We had over 300 influencers and content creators, streamers in here tonight, combined following of like 980 million.
Well, I got to ask you, because I ask you this every time. When are we going to get an influencer slap fight?
Oh, we're open for business. Anyone want to reach out? We're ready to go.
Hi, Frank. Manny said in his post-show interview, that he would like to get on the New Orleans card. Is that something you'd like to entertain?
We have a card for that, but we'll go back on Monday or Tuesday and see if any of these guys can turn around quickly. I haven't even looked at the suspensions yet.
Okay. And the last event was about 3 months ago, and the next one's in 3 weeks. Is there going to be a new standard to have them 3 weeks apart, or it's just kind of sporadic?
I think when we get into 26, you'll see a more regular calendar while we continue to figure out. Actually, Hunter and I were talking, we're going to sit down next week and map out the calendar for 26, and we'll be picking the cities that we want to go to, and you'll probably see something more like every 4 to 6 weeks.
Are you guys still on track for 2 more in Las Vegas this year?
We have October in Vegas. That's October 3rd. Obviously, we have New Orleans. We'll have our Abu Dhabi show, a couple of Saudi shows. We'll see what happens with the Las Vegas.
Okay, and then Paige obviously got injured and was not able to compete on this card. Do you still want her to be the first woman to compete for the belt, or are you guys going to look at other opportunities?
We got to talk about it on next week. She's good now. Paige is healed up. She had some real sort of freak accident that we almost actually have never seen before, but she's better now. So we'll figure out what to do with the women's division. Obviously, I think we had like 6 women's fights today, so way more women on the coming into slab.
Yes. Well, that's good to hear that she's doing well, and thank you.
You got it.
You talked about there's way more women. How do you attribute that? Because when you started, there was one woman, and now there's like, do you attribute that to Paige and Michael Michel's?
Yeah, look, Paige, we knew it would be important to get more women into the sport. Paige was the first one to really come in. And obviously, Sheena and those girls have done a phenomenal job. Listen, you can make good money here, and it's fun. And if you think you're ready to go, that's why we're going to see more and more women come in.
Have you seen an uptick in women who want to participate?
Yeah, a ton. That's like I said, today we had 6 or 7 women's fights, more than we've ever had. So there'll be more, especially as we continue to recruit these regional wrestlers.
Do you see like other athletes from other sports, women that want to come in and compete?
Yeah, I mean, like again, this whole wrestling thing, and Sin has been a great addition to the team, helping recruit those guys. We get athletes from all different backgrounds in slap, and we'll just continue to grow.
With the main event tonight, you mentioned earlier on that with those super heavyweights, it's very difficult to move them or rock them or drop them or wobble them at all. It was a pretty close fight. Is a rematch with those 2 guys something that you guys see? Because, I mean, apart from maybe someone like Unco Micah, does he get an automatic rematch?
Listen, everyone knows Dumpling is a legend in this sport. The match was close. We'll figure out what to do next with him.
With the success of Power Slap in the United States, every Carter gets bigger and bigger. And as you said, there was like a whole bunch of influencers out there. Is this something that you're thinking about maybe taking internationally eventually?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we go international with Abu and Abu Dhabi and Saudi, but we were talking about UK. We think it would do really good in the UK.
Well, specifically, I was thinking Australia, because I think the Australians would absolutely love this sport because, as you know, they're pretty crazy and mad down under, and I think they'd love it. So is Australia maybe in the cards?
I agree. Australia would be great. We'll go everywhere. Not to repeat everything Dana says, but the plan is to bring this everywhere we want to go.
Do you have any intel on what actually happened to KO Chris? Did he actually break his hand?
I have not seen the medical report yet. I don't know. No. There you go. No.
Thanks.
Since Power Slap tickets are selling out so fast, it's harder to get into. Do you think we could see it in maybe bigger venues like arenas?
Yeah, I mean, we had a slightly smaller room for this one, but there are bigger rooms even here that we can do. And yeah, I think the property is picking up a lot of steam, especially on the ticket front. Like I said, we put this on sale about 6 weeks ago. I think it sold out, by the first 10 days, and then people have been selling it on the secondary market, and ticket prices have been going up.
And also, if you could have one UFC fighter come and do Power Slap, who would you choose?
That's a Dana question. I think they'll prefer to have the UFC fighters stay in the UFC.
Power Slap's obviously growing a lot. Could we see lower weight classes like lightweights and bantamweights in Power Slap in the future?
Absolutely. We have a lightweight division. I think we'll probably look at featherweight, and obviously the women. Actually, the women are starting at I think some of them are at atom weight or straw weight. So, yes. Cool. Thanks, guys.